Hey there, what's going on? Rybash here.
And Breezy.
And welcome to the darkest dungeon.
Awesome voiceover.
This is one of my favorite games, guys. I would recommend if you've never played Darkest Dungeon to pick it up. It is brutally hard at times. If your characters die, they're dead. They're just gone. So you have to make smart decisions. It is a turn-based strategy game, so we're going to pick up a whole cast of characters, and I'm going to explain a little bit about the game as we go along here. But let's watch the exciting intro.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil.
Great narration.
Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Here we are. So your ancestors spent all their family fortune on uncovering this, what he thought was some kind of incredible power, but it really just unleashed this evil that was down in the darkness. A lot of this game is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. I would recommend, if you don't know who that is, to look him up. He was an author at the turn of the century, and or maybe the 1920s, 30s, I forget exactly the dates, but all of his writings talk about the idea of secrets, of uncovering this unknowable thing. A lot of times the descent into madness, the good-intentioned quest for power, and how it ends up destroying you in the process. So that is what a lot of the Darkest Dungeon is about. So your characters begin. We're going to go ahead and pick the darkest setting. That's the way the game was originally designed. You can play a little bit easier, Radiant mode, or extremely brutal Stygian mode. We don't want to do that. We're going to go ahead and just do darkest. I have an existing game going on right here that I've been playing for a long time, but we're going to start a new one up, the Breezy Estate.
Oh,
and
regal.
Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to see as we arrive at the Hamlet that sits below the manor, which houses the Darkest Dungeon. So let's watch that.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Okay, so you're being escorted down the old road to the hamlet that lies at the base of the old manor, your ancestral home. And we have a couple of characters. You can get up to, I believe, 12 different classes of character. Renaud is a crusader. He is kind of a tank damage dealer. Can take a lot of hits. And then you have Dismas, the highwayman. A highwayman's kind of a rogue type, fires from the back lines. He can bleed targets. Bleed is like a damage over time, so you hit them with a bleed, you cut them open, they take a little bit of damage every round. The game's turn-based, so you go, they go, there's a mix-up. Everybody gets to go at least once per turn. Sometimes people can go twice. And down here on the right, you have your where you're at. You're here at you're the torch, and we're heading to this area.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Okay.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
So I picked, sliced him. He does an attack. Now it's Reynolds' turn. You have various options. Everybody has up to 4 different things they can do. I'm going to pick Smite. It's one of his best damage dealing attacks.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
So he's dead. He dropped 100 gold coins behind. You have a limited inventory, as you can see here. So as we journey down into dungeons, things like that, you have to make sure that you think about the resources that you take with you, and then also what you want to pick up.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I love the commentary.
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Yeah. So
An ambush.
I got a
Send
bleed off
these
on him.
vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Yeah.
That's right.
Missed. Your kind's no longer welcome. He's a big guy. He takes up 2 spaces. See how big he is? There's essentially 4 slots that people can stand in. Your guys take up to 4 once we pick up a full party, and then they take up to 4. But these big guys take up 2 spots, so that's important because sometimes you can't attack the guy in the back. He's got a gun. I can't see, like, the smite is only usable from the first 2 rows. You see those 2 little dots down there on the left, the 2 like yellowish white dots, and then the 2 red dots tell you that you can hit either the first one or the second one. If they have a line in between them, you can hit both the first and the second.
Okay.
But like this one has minus 40% damage, Zealous Accusation. This one has no minus to damage, so it does full damage.
Prodigious size alone
Wow.
does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Yeah. So this guy he becomes a corpse. I killed him. His corpse has like hit points. You gotta kill him off. And before you can get these spots free. So he can fire. Dismas has a pistol, so he can shoot the back row with a pistol shot. Like that. Does 6 damage. This guy has 6 hit points remaining out of 12. See, now the problem here is Renault has to beat this corpse down. This corpse has 11 hit points left. Has a bleed on it still, and it's gone now.
Good.
So now he's on the front row. The other brigand, the Brigand Fusilier. Basically a guy with a gun.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Picked up some items. You can select leave now or continue adventuring. There's a chest here, so we're going to try to... it's trapped. Okay, we resisted the effect. We're okay.
Oh, that's good. So a chest could be more good stuff or something bad.
Yeah, you can also use items on chests. Sometimes if you use a key, it automatically becomes a good thing.
Oh.
This is your victory synopsis. It tells you what you got for reward for doing the quest, what you picked up along the way in terms of treasure, and what you picked up along the way in terms of heirlooms. Heirlooms, we'll show you what those are in a little bit. These guys both hit the first level. They're 0 to 6 level, and they're level 1 right now. As you grow in level, you get stronger, potentially stronger weapons, stronger armor, better attacks, things like that. So he picked up natural swing. It means he has a +5 to his accuracy going forward, which is nice. And he became a dipsomania. He has an intense craving for alcohol. That's nice.
Is that a result of the chest or just something that happened?
It's just something that happens. It's kind of random.
Welcome home,
Wow.
such as it is.
Thank you.
This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
So we got a activity log that's telling us that week 1, Dismas and Renault arrived at the hamlet, and they're level 1. And then we have some goals from the caretaker, the guy that's been living here and overseeing the little hamlet. Essentially, this is just a check the box thing you can do, like defeat the necromancer. As you go through, you have to fight each boss 3 times. The bosses exist in certain dungeons, and as you get further and further along in each dungeon, you got to fight them again and again. When you beat them the last time, you get this special item that only they drop.
Oh.
So, and then also you get goals for upgrading your guys. There's 12 classes. You can see them all here. Maybe more than 12. And you get a check mark when you get them to. So, like for instance, when we get the Crusader to level 6, he's level 1. We'll get this one checked. So, as you can see, there's a lot of different classes to choose from. Each of them have their pros and cons and different abilities. Here's the hamlet. You can upgrade the hamlet as you go along. So each one of these buildings becomes a little bit, becomes more of an asset to you as you collect your busts down here, your portraits, your deeds, and your crests. You pick these up from adventuring in dungeons. They help you unlock certain areas of the hamlet. So you can eventually unlock a guild hall, which will let you upgrade your weapons and armor, or rather your combat abilities. The blacksmith will let you upgrade your weapons and armor. The abbey will help you pray and meditate, because as you go into these dungeons, remember how we talked about how this game is built on the idea of like horror and insanity, and as you're fighting evil, you kind of become evil and you become crazy. Insanity is a big thing in this game, so you become more stressed out. Like these guys right now, if I were to click on Renault, you'll see that he has absolutely no stress. He's 0 out of 200. Once he hits 100 stress, he becomes, something bad happens to him. It could be something good, but usually something bad. And then we run into the issue of having to cure his stress because he's just tired of fighting evil. And if you don't cure his stress, he can have a heart attack and die on the spot. Remember, once the character's dead, they're just dead. So you got to make sure that you keep their stress level low by sending them to the tavern to gamble away or to drink away their stress. And then also some other things on this screen just to show you what this is about. He has two positive quirks. The quirks over here are always good. The quirks over here are always bad. Some of them worse than others. So he's God-fearing. So to relieve his stress, he's only going to pray. He won't drink. He won't gamble. He won't do anything but pray for stress relief. That's a problem because he sometimes you can't always pray. The spots will be taken up. So you got to make sure that you get rid of this. So you can send him to the insanity and sanitarium asylum and have him put into a padded cell and have his God-fearing quirk removed for money. It costs money. He's also a kleptomaniac. Means that as you're journeying through dungeons, he will just stop. Sometimes if you find loot, he'll just stop and take it for himself. And then it'll just be gone. You won't even get it. So that's a really nasty quirk. It's one of the worst ones actually you can have.
Wow.
He has these 4 abilities right now. You can pick up to 7. These other 3 are locked. And then you can upgrade each one of these abilities and they'll do more damage. They'll have a better accuracy. It shows you that based upon his chosen abilities that he is the best in the first and second position. He can't do anything in position 3 or position 4. And similar fashion, he can only really hit the first and second row. He can't hit third and fourth row. And then these are his camping skills. We'll talk about that later. Here's his resistances, and here's his gear. And he doesn't have any items right now, so he's pretty basic. Dismas has his own probably unique stuff. He's a known cheat. He's not allowed to gamble in town because everybody knows he's a big fat cheater. And we just picked up an intense craving for alcohol. But he has quick reflexes, +2 speed, and he has a hard noggin. He's hard to stun. And here's his stats. These go up over time as you grow in level. And you can see he is best at hitting. He can hit every person. He can hit the second place slot the best, but he can hit everybody. He can hit this means basically this third place. He can probably have 2 or 3 attacks. Like he can hit the third place, and not the third place. So the 3 out of 4 he can hit third place, but he can hit every spot with his current setup. Second, he can hit every second. He can use his abilities to hit the second place spot. Help me out here, Bria. So we want to look at the graveyard. This is where they go to die.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Oh, lovely.
So right? You use your money to upgrade these buildings, or you use these to upgrade the buildings. Sorry, you use the money. You use the money to buy yourself. When you want to gamble, it costs money. When you want to pray, it costs money. When you want to buy trinkets and other items, it costs money. So you definitely will need that. You'll use it to cure your quirks, things like that.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
This is just if you want to watch the videos again, or if you want to learn about certain aspects of, as we fight the bosses, they're gonna do like a little description of how the creature or the thing came to be. You find out that essentially you created all this stuff as you were trying to unlock the secrets of the darkest dungeon. You unleashed all these monsters onto the world, basically.
The ancestor did?
Yeah. And so you have to step up and take care of each one of them. So, like I said, each boss you have to fight 3 times, so there'll be a little bit more of the story as you fight your way through them. And we have our activity log, like we talked about. We have our trinket inventory. We'll eventually fill up with lots of stuff. We'll go over each one of those. Some are better than others. And that is just a glossary of terms. That's the thing to take us out of the game. And here's the stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
So the stagecoach is where you pick up new characters. Each time you complete a quest, you come back here. There'll be new characters at the stagecoach. Each character has their own pluses and minuses. You'll want to kind of set up your party of 4. You kind of want to set up with at least 1 healer, at least 1 or 2 damage dealing tank type classes sometimes. It varies. And then a third person is usually like a utility. So it could be another damage dealer, it could be another healer, it could be a kind of a all-around jack of all trades person. And as we upgrade the stagecoach here, you'll have more heroes to choose from. We only had 2 options this time, but when we upgrade it here, now when we complete an adventure and come back, we'll have 3 options instead of just 2. Also, our roster, which can only hold 9 people, as you can see over there on the right. As soon as I click this, now can
More
hold 12.
arrive, foolishly seeking fortune and glory in this domain of the damned.
All right. So, having explored all of the town, essentially it's telling us that we need to go ahead and embark on our first adventure into our first dungeon. So, we're going to pause, though, and we'll pick that up in the next episode. This is the beginning of our descent into madness as we fight our way through all of the evil to the darkest dungeon there in the background. So, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you come along for the ride. Thank you, and please remember to subscribe, leave us a like and a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care. Bye.